Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We still have a lot to get to this morning, but we want to get the blood flowing and our bodies moving.
Yeah, it might sound a little bit dramatic here, but turns out your desk job may actually be your body's biggest enemy.
Oh, and I mean, we've heard this for a little while now. I mean, right, like most of us were like, it's probably not good that I'm spending so much time sitting in this chair.
Yeah.
You know, and so instead of just telling you more reasons why it's terrible for you, we'll try to give you a couple of things you can do about it.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, that's great.
Like sometimes you're gonna have to work sometimes.
Yes.
From a chair, from a desk.
Yeah.
You know, so how can you maximize your health at the same time as actually get your job done?
And we all don't have those standing desks.
Yeah.
So until that day, and I want one of those desk treadmills too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
wouldn't be mad about that.
I mean, the more often you change position, it's helpful. So like sitting down time is good. Having standing time is good. Maybe different tasks at different things. You know, sometimes even partial stand is actually really helpful. So usually if you had like a stool or something a little bit taller.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times when we sit all the way down like this, we'll just go over kind of good sitting, habits. First is sitting forward in your seat is a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to get your back straighter. When you sit back in the seat, it tends to roll you back down because the hamstring starts to get tightened up. So sitting forward is helpful. Bringing your feet underneath you is a little bit helpful. If the knees drop down, again, a little easier to keep the back straight. And that's why, like, if you're on like a little bit higher stool or something like that, your knees would be lower than your hips, and it's just easier to maintain that. If you have your feet out in front, one of the worst places in a car. You know, the feet are out in front of you.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get your back straight just because there's so much tension in the hips there. So having a lumbar pillow or something like that can be helpful. They got
one of those.
They got some that have like a little pump-up thing, like a blood pressure cuff, so you get like just the right setting on that. You know, so
wow.
You get yourself one of those and treat yourself to the exact right pressure.
I have a tendency to sit in my chair and slouch down so that my behind is almost on the edge. Yes, exactly. And then my feet go out in front of me, and I sit there and start to drool. And
throughout the morning, you just see Dan like
I go lower and lower.
I mean, and there's going to be some of that. So other things is you can't undo all of that stuff. So yeah, sometimes we're going to be not in the ideal position, but if we can get up often, so you get up from the desk. I mean, at least you guys have, you got to come in here, coming out, go with the. I see you guys walking around a lot of times. So that's helpful. So otherwise, just drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water so you pee more often.
You have to.
You have to get up. You have to get up
me.
and go
I do
pee.
it.
And so that's a really, really good thing. But stretching and exercise are really, really helpful too. So a couple stretches you can do at the desk, that maybe won't be too weird, is a hamstring stretch. Kick a leg out, tip in there, and get that stretch in there. So don't bend the back for it, but keep the back straight and just tip in there. Holding these stretches about 30, 60 seconds, really neat. So the initial reaction of the muscle is actually to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you got to hold it a little bit longer so it can actually loosen in there. So you get both sides in on that. The hip stretch is a really good one. Cross the ankle over the knee. Stretching in the hip is really good. Getting up for a little while and doing like the hip flexor stretch. So when we're sitting like this is getting tight. So if we go in here, just kind of open up that hip a little bit. Stretching in there, is a really, really helpful stretch also. And then the neck is another area too. So the neck is, a part of this posture is the upper body stuff that's going on too. So one great exercise I really like is that we call it the field goal squeeze. Looks like you're a hostage or something like that, but you're squeezing your shoulders down, pushing your chest out. The worst place for your shoulder to be in is up and forward. The most damaging place for it to be. So you're just doing the down and back. You're going down and back. And so you're just practicing, again, 30, 60 seconds. It's nice. It stretches across the front, works across the back there. It's a good deal. The other thing is sometimes the neck. The easiest way to do that sometimes is if you got a chair, you can grab the bottom of the chair there a little bit, tip away from it. I'll turn a little bit so you can see it from this angle. You trip away from it a little bit, and you turn the head and kind of look down, and that really gets these neck muscles to stretch. Now, having the hand anchored is helpful because otherwise the shoulder is going to want to pop up while you're doing it. So you can kind of anchor that down just so it helps keep the shoulder down and then turn and look down and just, you can just feel how tight those suckers get. And for most people, it's a really, really tight area. It causes causes shoulder issues, causes neck problems, headaches, things like that, tension headaches that just come right up over the top there. And so getting the shoulders in a better position and getting the hips in a better spot are really, really big things.
Any advice for just the overall posture when you're standing, when you get up from the desk and you're doing your building lap, but you're doing your building lap like this? What can I do to, hey,
take a nap. I don't know, right? But just being conscious of it more often. Catch yourself in it as much as you can. Okay. But that's where also like doing like a planned workout. I think even just that hour that I get to work with people, where I'm really it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
Okay.
So just the hour of practice, you know, makes it just a little more likely that it's going to leak into other parts of your life too. So having some of that time where you're actually really consciously, you know, controlling that. You can't do it all day long because you got other things to think about besides just, am I in the right posture?
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of other things on your mind. So having a little bit of time where you really nail it, you know, can be helpful, I think, to just make it more natural to get to that position.
Yep.
You know, and then again, yeah, just whenever you notice, you know, if you have a friend, you know, you just go like, yo, you're slouching.
Keeping them in check. Keeping them in check. Hit them with the website, Jeremy.
If you go to talltrainer.com/desk, I made some resources with some videos and things like that. There's even a little handout that you could post up as a reminder. So there's a lot more information there. So talltrainer.com/desk will get you all this.
Sweet. Thank you, sir.
Time right now, 8:37. When we come back, we will be bringing you this morning's Reporter Recap.
Roll on out of here. There you go.
Bye,
Say goodbye to Jeremy.